So, this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about work issues, how I think this month is going, and then I'm also going to show you or talk about how I normally kind of figure out the, I, as much as I can, figure out what I will be paying for later on for the next paycheck, because today is payday. So normally it's probably, it's pretty straightforward. I know like how many hours I have, or I have worked in the past. Now in the future here, that might be totally changing. This month is not going to be good for my bills. And so I went into, I worked yesterday and I saw some stuff been going on when I wasn't at work. And basically, they want to have agents give up 12 hours a day for the whole month. So, not including the weekends, because the weekends are kind of special and stuff, so it's a little bit different. If you don't include that, just the actual work week, it's 240 hours. They want people not to work. So you have one person's whole shift and then another person's half a shift, where they want people to volunteer to go ahead and either take PTO or have it unpaid. Now, so far this is voluntarily, but I'm sure at some point, especially depending on the end of the month, I could see how maybe they might do it mandatory if people aren't voluntary. So far, I think they are getting people to do that, but this is a big if, because they haven't been telling us what's going on. In the past, like in October, they had it where it's like everyone had signed up for like a whole bunch of overtime and then they canceled it all. And we're like, what's going on? Like, oh, well, we're sorry, we messed up. There wasn't enough hours, whatever. I'm like, okay. But they're not telling us why all of a sudden they're wanting us to have so many less hours. And my work, you have to have, there's certain things and contracts and stuff like that. So my department has to have a lot of people. And I don't know all the ins and outs of it or anything. And what little bits I do know, I'm not going to get into. But we have to have so many people working. And I don't know about other people, but I know, let's say this. I know a lot of people of the agents that have been there for a while do overtime because they don't make enough money to pay bills. And some in the past have worked when they had our pay rates be a lot less. And when I mean a lot less, I mean like $12 an hour. Now they start out at I think 14. So it's went up $2. And in case now the last 2 years I have got good raises, but one of them included the increase. So but just in case you're thinking, oh, they must be making tons of money if you work there a long time. 1 year I got a raise and it was 16 cents. So their idea of raises sometimes are not that much. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so in the past, some people have worked 2 jobs. And then other people, once there was a lot more overtime constantly, most of the time, they just do overtime and they depend on it to pay their bills. And my work knows that. I mean, right now you can go and work at a fast food place and get paid more than what my work pays. But the problem is that the places, let's say they're hiring, they're not hiring. They have signs up, but then people apply and then they're not hiring them. Or they say they're full, but then put up the signs back up. Or they'll hire them, but then give them like 20 hours. Well, then you might as well not even go there, because basically what you would be making at my work at full time would be like basically the same. So you're not, you know. But anyway, so far this month, I have not volunteered for that. And I won't. Now, I do have some days I am taking PTO this month, which I had already put in like several months ago. So like this stuff was like planned somewhat. But again, I didn't figure that like there would be not any overtime. So this paycheck anyway, for 80 hours. Now 8 hours of that was just my base pay, which I get paid a differential because of like a certain shift and whatever that I work. So with that, after deductions and the taxes, the healthcare, I do a 401k because my if I do a certain amount, then my employer does match like I think it's 2% or something like that. So after that is $1,017, which you figure in the 80 hours is $12.71 an hour. And even if I put in for the differential, this wouldn't even go up like $20, like, But it does make a difference, especially, each day and everything. But, and just in case people are like, oh, it must be tons of money for the differential, just to, clarify. Now, my next paycheck, because it's going to have more time off, I am, it's going to be less. I'm thinking it's going to be like $9.90 or something like that is what I'm kind of going to assume. So for this, paycheck, I'm taking out $225 of the $450 for property taxes. The car registration, I'm just going to go ahead and pay that in full. I'm just going to go ahead and take that out of savings. House insurance, instead of paying the $140 like I normally would, I'm only going to do $100. Water and trash, I'm going to do the full $48. Accountant/taxes, it's $50 that I'm doing a month. I'm going to do $50. American Express, that went up. Now normally, last month this was at $670. I went ahead and paid $730. Because after my video that I was going to go ahead and pay off Lowe's, I decided not to. Because Lowe's is going to be paid off like in 5 months. Or they're 5 or 6 months. My Amex has a higher balance and has a much higher interest rate. So that's how I paid more for American Express. Normally, if you watch my videos in the past, I would pay this whole amount. But again, I don't have overtime. So I'm going to go ahead and pay $400. It's due on the 27th, So do get paid again on the 21st. Amazon, that credit card went up to 88, so I'm going to do 88. Cell phone, 65, so I'm going to do that. Now, unless something comes up again, I've been trying to go and get the second air so I can switch. And I do know when I switch over, it's going to be like, I thought I read that it's going to be like 2 hours or something like that, where I might not like potentially have like phone service or something like that. So, I wanted to do that on a weekend and not during the week. Because if something goes wrong, then I have phone issues, and then I'm working and something goes wrong with their system or my internet or something like that, then no one can reach me, and I don't want that. Now, if you've been adding this total up here in the left corner, I am short $1 to make all of this work. So I'm going to take $1 out of cushion. So it means I have $94. I have 0 left over. Now, here's the thing. So what I would do normally for this paycheck is I already off video kind of figuring out what I might be able to pay for the next paycheck. Because I've already would have kind of gotten some idea like how many hours of overtime there might be or whatever. But since they're not doing any overtime, and I did ask, I remember, sorry, I'm like, oh gosh, so I did ask, don't even remember oh gosh, okay, so, yeah, now I realize I don't think I said anything, so I asked, because no one else was asking, everyone was wanting to know, because again, they haven't said anything. I asked them, now come next month, is this going to be permanent thing? You're asking us to take PTO or have it unpaid. Is there going to be overtime? I'm like, well, this could be month to month. Okay. But again, they're not telling us why, which is making me and like every other person, like, I don't know. It's a little bit weird. So, but they have confirmed that there's, as of right now, and for the foreseeable future for this whole month, there's going to be no overtime. Because they need those hours of people taking off. Which the new people, they're like, oh, this is great. You know, because they can take time off and, you know, they don't have PTO. So normally at my work, you're not allowed to take PTO if you don't have it in your PTO bank and it hasn't been approved. And it's very hard at my work to get PTO. Because you can only have someone out for basically like one person a day, and then like you can do, now they added it where you can do like 4 hours or something like that, so it's like 12 hours, you know, but again, your request cannot overlap with that other agent. But anyway, so looking for the next paycheck, assuming it's going to be like around $9.90. Since I'm still going to have around 400 or 300 something left over, even if I decide to do the minimum for the Amex. B of A is going to be 500 something. Those two bills, that's going to eat up that whole paycheck. So, I'm going to be short by quite a bit. Yeah. So I'm going to have to take some type of money out of savings. And I don't know what the heat and electric's going to be, of course. And the food, that's a whole nother thing. Because the fridge and freezer is colder. But I think it's still having some issues. So right now, I'm not going to buy extra food again. Because I already went ahead through my whole budget and put in more food. So at some point, probably over the weekend or whatever, or next week, I'm going to have to get someone to see if they can come and look at that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now, if they work, if they get to where it's like 2 months or 3 months where they're still asking for flex time, I'm going to have to go ahead and try and get a second job, which I didn't really want to do because I'm trying to finish up the school thing so then I can get another job and leave the one I'm at and have it be better pay. So I don't really want to start at, a second job. I mean, granted, they know it's second, job, but then like leave, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, I mean, that wouldn't really be fair to the employer, unless it was like a job at like a temp agency, something like that, But then a lot of temp jobs I've gotten, they're going to be farther away. So then how much am I then, really making as, I have to think about that too. Because where I'm at, yeah, I just don't know. It's where I live. If I go for another job, round trip would be at least 2 hours drive. Because a lot of places where I work at now, they either say they're hiring, they don't hire. They hire, and they give people like 10, 20 hours, if that. But they're not flexible on their hours they have. Or their hours they're open, they either open too late for me to really work there because I only have so much time before I have to be at my, would be at my regular job, or they close too early. So, yeah. I don't know. But, and I have thought about, canceling that PTO I have later on, this month, but, I'm not going to do it. I need some mental health days. Not anything to do with, like, work related. Just stuff that I always do. So, and I would not be in a good headspace to deal with callers. And, yeah. But the only other thing that I had was my advent calendar. So when I kind of joked, it's back in December and January, where it was like, sometimes, I don't know how much I'll have saved. I might have $1. Guess how much I have? I have change for $1. So I'm going to put in $1. Because obviously I don't have anything to take out. I'm not going to take out money from the paycheck. I still do have $40 in gas, but I'm debating if I just should have that, whatever I have left over of that, of eventually going into, for food, new food that I have to purchase from the fridge and freezer. Yeah, I'm not sure. But, so, here's $1 of change that I'm going to put in. A little cute little doggy. He looks like either he is lonely and wants people to come play with him outside, or he got all dressed, thought he was going to go play outside, and then wasn't allowed to or something. Cute either way. Yeah, so then I'm just going to go ahead and staple this. But, yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Friday at least. Don't know what I'm going to do for food today. I do have, it's still early. I need to do a few errands. And then, so I might then use the gift card that I have to go to Culver's. And then for dinner, I might just do like oatmeal, but just for one serving. Yeah. Take care of everyone.